don't know about you, but I happen to love travel, history, shopping, thrifting, basically everything that a cute little tiny town has to offer. But when I go there, I typically will also like to look at the storefronts and the storefront containers specifically, because I love to design storefront containers and also ones for churches and schools. Within the last, 2-3 weeks ago, we went to Galena, Illinois, which is an adorable, very historic town. And the funny thing is even the end of September and beginning of October, they don't have their containers transitioned yet to fall. Not sure why. Maybe because it's been so warm, so the summer plants are still doing very well. Okay, but I do like to look at these planters regardless of the season to see what other people are doing and figure, in my own head what I would do different. But you can use the inspiration to see there are different aspects of a container that I think make it work or don't make it work. And hopefully you enjoy walking around the beautiful town of Galena, Illinois. Welcome to Galena, Illinois, home to really cute shops and antiquing, thrifting, and Grant's home. He moved here shortly before the Civil War broke out. There's also a museum, and you can do fun things like learn how to make a spoon. This shop, I believe, gives lessons. But beautiful antiquing. I fell in love with those lights. And they have a trolley, which I've never taken the trolley, but this was one of the containers that I saw that if it were me, I'd probably make it a whole lot bigger and a whole lot more red. But like I said, this is big. This is known for General Grant's home, and there's a museum. I don't know what the, I'm really curious what the meaning of that watch is for, and I didn't even notice what time it was. I would have sat next to him and taken a picture, but as you can see, it was raining. Now, not only did this antique shop have tons of books on the Civil War and, of course, General Grant, but these types of things catch my eye, containers. And look at the price tag on these. If you ever, this is just kind of a tip, if you ever see crates like this with names on them, I would definitely pick them up because look at how much they retail for. Wow. All very unique looking, very well made, and I would say magazine worthy for sure. I had to include this. I know they're artificial, but at least they did something, unlike this one. I can't stand seeing a planter with nothing in it except for cigarette butts. Isabella's Interiors always does great windows, and what I really liked about this one is if you're going to go artificial, go big, and everything looks good in a basket. And of course, you can also, I love the bumblebees, and anything that you make in a very large scale compared to what it normally would be is very, very eye-catching, and the colors just go together so nicely. This Lulu's store is really embracing the sunflower, the color yellow, and I like the reinforcement. The more that you can do that, the more impactful it is, and it just becomes very, very striking. And of course, who doesn't love sunflowers? Although never put a real sunflower in a planter. I learned that the hard way because the critters find it immediately and eat your beautiful container. But I love the display, the storefront, and that little planter just because of the yellow color and just sunflowers everywhere. It was just such a happy storefront. Now, Petals and Primitives did something a little bit different. They actually did have fall plants. Those are mums, and those are beautiful mums, and they coordinate with the colors of their logo, their sign. They're very bright. They're almost springy and summery looking colors. Dusty Miller, of course, you can never go wrong, and it'll do great through fall and winter. But love the colors, and for those of you who don't want to leave summer, there you go. Now, the DeSoto house, I thought that these were extremely understated, and if that's what you're going for and you want it just like a little classy, this is a very historic hotel. 2 symmetrical urns with basically white and very light yellow plants don't detract at all from the hotel. I'm just going to state the obvious and hope for the 4th of July they do something really big, red, white, and blue in those containers. That's all I'm saying. Now, you're gonna realize this, that I love the repetition of color. These planters, they struggle with the Calibrachoa and the petunias here as well, just like mine do. But the sign, you see, Summer Markdowns, is in like a purpley pink. And also, that's the same color flowers that are in the planters. And I just thought that that was something to take note of. If you want something cohesive and striking, pick a color and put it everywhere. Put it in your flowers, put it on your holiday sign, put it everywhere. So I thought it would be fun to immortalize this gentleman and not ask him to move. Plus it does kind of show the scale, and there's a couple of things that I like about it. First of all, a lot of people don't have a lot of space outside their front door, which there isn't a lot of space here, but you pick a planter that's tall and thin, and look at that. It has a lot of impact. Now, you may want to do something taller, like a tall grass in the middle to get it more towards eye level. That would be fine too. But just looking down, if you were to look down, you could see the mums just fine. It's probably one of my favorites, and this is it's just repetition. And I love when people do on their porch, especially if they have a larger porch. You get the same container and you get multiple ones and line them up, and you put the exact same flower in here, like this lantana, and mass plant it, and it has a big impact. It looks really beautiful, and I wouldn't hesitate doing this in any space. But I don't know if you've noticed so far, but the same day it was both really, really beautiful and sunny, and then also very rainy. Now, Isabella's Interiors I look forward to every single time I go. Not only is it a beautiful storefront, a beautiful building, but they always have beautiful striking containers. This one on the right is a urn. You can't go wrong ever putting anything in an urn. I love urns. You could use picks. Multiple picks of the same kind. They don't even have to be real. This container, I love it. I take pictures of it. I'm like a stalker of this planter. It's just long and it's mass planted with geraniums. How stunning is that? And of course, the video that I did a couple weeks ago, what I would do for fall is you change them over. You snap off the flowers that aren't doing so well, and you put a bunch of artificial or real pumpkins in there, and it looks like a pumpkin patch. But that would just be what I would do. And then this is another idea for the container on the left, and that is if you have something tall like this column, and then just add a bunch of the same like picks. You could have dried, you could have artificial, real. I personally would probably do dried eucalyptus. I think that would look amazing, and it just dries as the season goes, and it looks really amazing. The planter here just reminded me, this is why I typically don't do a whole lot of Calibrachoa or petunias, because this is kind of how they look. If they're not getting enough water, not getting enough sun or fertilizer, they kind of struggle, and they just are not very impactful or colorful. But Dusty Miller once again comes through, and that was the main plant that I saw in here, along with the variegated plant there too. I just love Dusty Miller, and it does so well during every season. The Log Cabin is a great restaurant. It's been there forever, and this planter I just had to take it because, what is it, basil? And I think it's fun. I think it's kind of funny. It's a restaurant. They have basil out front. It's just, it's striking. It's a single plant, and it also says foods inside. This was a great idea that I'm going to have to keep in mind, because the larger the planter, typically the more expensive. And of course, there's soil, there's more plants. Everything is bigger, 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 except if you kind of cheat. And that's why I took footage of this one, because it really is just a barrel with a couple, like 2-3 plants on top of it, a fern and a struggling Calibrachoa. If the plants were really happy, it would look amazing. But especially if you do have plants that are really, really large, like this fern, then yeah, that's the perfect choice. Get a big barrel or something large, put one on there, and it looks ginormous. Here are just a couple little ideas and things that pop out to me. I always am on the lookout for picks for planters inside and out, and small ones, big ones, and these were just really cute. They struck me as just really, really cute ceramic little picks that would work really well in little planters. And last of all, but not least, I thought maybe you'd appreciate this half as much as I do. These beautiful, probably wooden carvings were just absolutely stunning, and I would adore having them. I can't even imagine how much they would be, but the beautiful cherubs, and then also a carousel horse. Could you just imagine being like next to a Christmas tree or in a storefront, like out front of a storefront? Oh, could you just imagine it? But I hope you enjoyed the video and walking around Galena with me.